Hi, and welcome to Wednesday. It is Wednesday already. Before I get started, I want to give a quick reminder. Today is a new moon. It peaked at 12:35 this afternoon. If you missed it, still write your Law of Abundance checkout today. It won't work as well, but at least it'll work a little bit. And the next Zoom is on March 11th, and the one after that will be on March 21st. So, and for those of you that are signed up for the seminary, it is being changed to July. We're not going to do it while it's cold. We're going to wait until July. So, okay, we got letters today, a whole different array of letters. So let's start with this one from Gina. Dear Marianne, I wanted to start off saying how much I truly enjoyed watching your recent cleaning video of the house. Thrilled to see you in action. And I didn't mind one bit that you took an extra few moments of quiet to speak to Clarence. Uh, I was absolutely shocked that when I Googled Clarence's and prison and found out everything you said was true. Well, Clarence was telling the truth. I can only tell you what he was telling me. I can't wait till your next house cleaning episode. I don't know when that'll be. But she did have some questions. I was wondering if that portal you found in a basement floor was any way tied to earthbound spirits coming up from a lower level. Example, hell, um, than the ones located on the inside of the walls. No. And like I said, portals on floors are so unusual. So, I mean, far and few between, but no, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's still just a portal. Her next question is, if a person is standing an inch from the wall or touching it where the portal is located, can an earthbound spirit who's coming in at the same time jump right into that person's body by accident? Absolutely not. Cannot happen. There is no way an earthbound spirit can jump in anybody's body without that person being totally unconscious, under from anesthesia, knocked down, drunk out, drugged out. That would be the only way, not when you are fully awake and conscious. Okay, so what would happen, let's say, if an earthbound spirit came out of a portal that you had just closed, which trapped them inside the house? I am so very careful about that because they couldn't get out, and I would never do that to somebody's house. So I'm just very aware of that. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't go into great detail on exactly how to close it, because I wouldn't want somebody to absolutely accidentally do that. Um, I know most normal ones would travel easily to occupy another house. However, if the portal one is trapped in an empty house without people to feed them energy, do they survive? What happens to them at this point? Do they dissolve or die again? No, and if they were trapped in a house like that, they would just veg out until the opportunity presented itself. It's like um, the guy in Cleveland that had the three girls locked up for 10 years. There's no doubt in my mind that there wasn't at least one portal in that house, probably more than that. And what happened when they tore his house down? They're now they probably jumped back in the portal, but the regular ghosts that were in that house would have just gone to a neighbor's house. So, um, the last question is, have you known of a spirit coming out of a portal being able to travel to their prior homes? Let's say there was a portal created there a long time ago, and could they visit their own family through a portal? If there's a portal in their family's house, of course, any place where there's another portal they can go to. So it just depends, who they are. And her last question that she had included was, Please let your webmaster know that I couldn't find your mailing address anywhere on your website. Thanks. Gina, it is there under contacts. You can find, well, you obviously found it, but yes, it is on there, just like with the law of abundance today. Ted put on yesterday, reminding people about it, and people are complaining, well, you don't have 2022 times up for the new moons. Yes, they are all up. They're up the end of December. So they're there. You have to refresh your computer to get, I mean, apparently it stays in some kind of a mode where it doesn't go out if you don't refresh it. So just, it's your computer not finding the right thing. You've got to do something to your computer. Okay. Uh, this one is from Steve in Minnesota. Marianne, thanks for filling my recent Quincy order. I'm a regular viewer of your YouTube programs. On a recent program, you stated that you use Padre Pio oil to help close the portal. How does it help with that? Do you use this oil for other purposes in your work with spirits? Do you recommend any other oils? I have a devotion to Padre Pio. I'm a member of the order. I have relics of him in my house. I'm very interested in finding out about your work with him and his oil. Any information you can give me would be appreciated. When my godmother was 16 years old when she stood up for me when I was an infant, and when she turned 17, she went into a very strict order of nuns, an Italian order of nuns, and she worked out of Rome. And when I made my first communion, when I made my first communion, she sent me a rosary from Italy that had a relic of Padre Pio's blood in it. That energy has that rosary has so much energy, it's unbelievable. And I've always been just fascinated with him. Plus the fact that before I realized that it's something I shouldn't be doing, I was trying to take spirits that were possessing people, and I could get them out, but I always got nailed somehow where I would start bleeding on my hands or my arms or my legs or so. It was just the goofiest thing. And so, which of course, Padre Pio, he had, the hands and with the blood on him all the time too, like from when Jesus was crucified. So it was sort of like, wow, okay, so this is Padre Pio. And if it's a really portals, I like to use that oil. But if you go to my book, When Ghosts Speak, there are all kinds of oils you can use to remove negative energy. And seriously, you can use olive oil. It doesn't have to be, anything special. But yeah, just because of that, I just have an affinity for Padre Pio. I just really like him. It's not that he was any, you know, it's like when I call on St. Anthony when I lose something, and that really works. If you've lost something and you can't find it, all you have to say is, Tony, Tony, look around, something's lost and must be found. And within about 10 minutes, you will find what you lost. So silly stuff like that really works. This one is from Jordan, and she is from Utah. My name is Jordan. I did a Zoom a few weeks ago when we met, and you had confirmed that it was okay to put the last quinset up over my garage door. You also warned me to be aware of knocking or pounding on the outside of windows or doors after you put up the seeds, because if a ghost is angry that it can't get back in, it will make noise outside. Well, since then, we both have been wearing our quincies, which we greatly appreciate. My husband has taken a lesser responsibility position at his workplace, which you had said on Zoom would have been better for him because of all the aggravation with work. But he seems more relaxed when he comes home and very glad for the change. Good, I'm glad that worked. However, you were right when you said that we might experience pounding on the outside of our home. Strange occurrences are now becoming more and more frequent. Since our putting up the quincies, I've noticed a popping sound down the roof or on the outside of the house in different areas, especially where I sit. I have mostly ignored this, which is good, because eventually, when they see they're not getting a rise out of you, they're going to quit doing it. Well, last week, the gate to my horse's pasture was open, and my neighbor found my horses in his backyard. He kindly put them back for us. 2 nights ago, I had two of my beautiful chickens go missing. This is not entirely unusual, so I made sure I locked them up tight last night, making sure the gate to the horse's pasture was secure as well. Then last morning around 4:30, my husband had gotten up for work and heard at first three very distinct loud pounds coming from the garage, and three more pounds that actually frightened him and made a disturbing sound like it was dragging something across the floor in the garage. He was actually so concerned that he went and got his pistol because he felt there may be a burglar trying to steal something. He came downstairs to wake me up and get my help because when he went out to the garage, the horses were out again. So he woke me up to get my help to get the horses so that he would not be late for work. I went to collect the horses when I found the gate to the pasture had been opened from the opposite way. The horses could never have opened that gate. Even if they pushed, it wouldn't have opened. It had to be pulled towards you to open. A horse cannot do that. Can I just please express my frustration? This sucks. I do not consent to being messed with, and I do not consent for my animals to be messed with. Is there anything I can do? It is very, very hard to protect outside. A lot of people that have critters, animals, goats, whatever, we put seeds up on the barn. At least that'll keep them from going in the barn and messing with your animals. You could put a quinseed on that gate that keeps opening. They will not be able to open it. They will not be able to get close to it. There is stuff that you can spread. You can spread coarse sea salt outside. That'll work for a little while, but if it rains or snows, it's going to melt it and you're going to have to do it again. And the problem with that is, it kills. You sprinkle salt on grass or in a field, it's going to kill the grass because that's what salt does. So I would definitely tell you to try that. Maybe get back on Zoom and go out to the barn and let me see. Obviously, this ghost that you have successfully kept out of your house is very angry that he cannot get into the house, so he's thinking about doing it this way. You have sent me in some pictures, and what I'm going to do is give them to Melissa to show on Wednesday mornings when we do the Wednesday morning 10 o'clock chat. Because I think I couldn't see anything in a couple of them, but the one looked like it was a pretty good picture. So I will definitely get this up to Melissa to put on that. But try coming on Zoom so we can check out your barn. Or you don't want to put the seeds up. You don't want to get seeds and put them up before you're sure that there's nothing there, because again, you don't want to trap it. So, okay. And the last one is from our friend in New Jersey, Alex. He always comes up with really good questions, and he has, of course, got questions. Um, my house is fully protected by your quincies, one above every one of its many entries, too many side to list. Attic, fireplace, every place where it is. But what if I have a terrible fight with my spouse and I fume for hours, days even, sending him bad thoughts and vibes? Unconsciously, of course, well, at least most of them. Can negative energy be attached to him because of my seething anger and fuming, assuming he is not wearing a Quincy charm inside the house? Yeah, Alex, it's probably something that's not going to stick unless this rant goes on for, 4 or 5 days. But yeah, yeah, definitely. And when I had my curse workshops years ago, you were living in New York at the time and you came all the way out to take that course. You know how to get the negative energy off of him. Do the little ceremony. Sometimes my spouse has to go through a second floor window to access the roof of our attached porch in order to caulk a leaky skylight. He has done this 3 or 4 times to make that. So, should we consider that window an entryway because we are using it as a doorway? You've got so many seeds up anywhere. Go ahead and put one on that too. I would think that if a ghost was watching him go in and out of it, they would think, oh, well, here's a way to get in. So go ahead and do it. This one's funny. Madonna looks fantastic to someone 60 something. Needless to say, she has had a little help plastic surgery, injections, or whatnot. Now, when she dies, would her earthbound self suddenly look old without the effects of the little help? I'm guessing yes, but how would earthbounds be able to tell what they look like? Can earthbound spirits see themselves in mirrors or other reflective surfaces such as ponds, lakes, swimming pools? I don't know if they can see themselves. I don't know. Maybe like vampires, their image doesn't show up on a mirror. I don't know. Um, but I'm going to ask a ghost the next time I see him because I'm really curious about that. Um, no, Madonna is going to look when she dies exactly as she looked on the day she died. So if her face is unwrinkled at whatever age she dies, and no, she'll look still pretty hot. So yep. And the final question is, and this one you can probably file in your what the hell folder. Watch a lot of TV, and there's different movies that give me energy, especially religious movies. And I want to know if you can get energy from watching TV or going to the movies and getting energies from that. Maybe a really good feeling, or if you're watching a scary movie, how people get scared. I don't see a correlation, Alex, between watching religious movies or any movies beside taking away whatever feelings you got from the watching. So I don't think so. Okay, that takes care of it for this week. And we will do it again next week. And I've got more letters to do, and we'll probably just do that. So have a great week and be safe. Thanks.